Representative House, if you would move on to House Bill 1051, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 1051 is a realization of something early on, that there was think of any commodity that's for sale: soybeans, rice, automobiles, washers and dryers, you name it, any commodity. You have the manufacturing or the cultivation on one end, and you have consumer consumption, individual consumption at the other end. So there is a supply chain that works out. In the case of cannabis, there are a number of processes that people may wish to go into in order to accomplish the objectives that we want to. So this bill adds the words, or adds the functions of transporter, distributor, or processor. These will be 3 intermediate stages of licenses that the Medical Marijuana Commission may license if somebody comes forward and says we want to do that. Now, let me give you a couple of examples, a couple of easy ones. Let's talk about transportation. I think they have called for six licenses to cultivate, 4, 5. Okay, 5, that's the last information we know. They call for 5 cultivators. Does each cultivator want to operate their own armored truck? Because that's essentially what the standards are going to turn out to be, that you have to move that stuff under security. Video and cameras and all that, from the loading dock to the truck, GPS tracking, recording the opening and closing of doors, all of that sort of thing is going to be controlled. There's going to be a chain of documentation. It's not likely, but it's possible, that each one of the cultivation people want to run their own operation. Others may want to hire Brinks or Wells Fargo or somebody like that that operates a fleet of trucks to move the product from spot to spot. But those people that are going to be handling the product need to be licensed as well. Because you've got the owners that are going to be licensed. Also, have each employee is going to have a background check, and they're going to be documented as well. Distributor. A distribution system, you're going to have cultivators that are going to be growing 365 days a year, and indoor grow operations. So that means that they're going to continually be harvesting various amounts of product consistently throughout a given year. Maybe a little more here, a little bit more there. On the far end of the program, you have the distribution system. You know, sales may kind of drop down during Christmas. They may peak during the winter months when people are sick. Folks that have MS or MD or cancer or something like that might be more adversely affected at different times of the year. But anyway, the point is this. Almost every business I know of, and I still go back to the rice business, and rice from farm to customer, has peaks and valleys. So when you accumulate a supply of stock, you need to get rid of it. This stuff is perishable. Mold, mildew, moisture, other things like that can get into the product and ruin it. And that's merchandise out the door. So you may very well have a need to offload, and the distributors may not need to buy from you at that particular time. There's a waviness in the market, in the demand. There's going to be a pretty steady production market on the supply side, but in order to smooth out that uneven, you're going to need, somebody's going to realize you have to do distribution. The cultivators may decide to do it themselves. That's fine. The dispensaries may decide to do it themselves. That's fine. But you still got a marketing problem. So we envision that a distributor would set up to buy at wholesale certain products, package it, flavor it, maybe process it, maybe bag it, in accordance with a bunch of rules that the ABC is going to provide. And they provide a source of capital back to the cultivation. Same thing that Rice and Rice does with farmers. They buy the rice, they process it, they mill it, they store it, and they distribute it to various food brokers and then on to the retail establishment. If you'll see it in that way, they may decide to get into that business and buy a product at wholesale. They can also process it into other things, which leads to the third license. There are certain products, soaps, lotions, oils, waxes, for instance, that may be processed. There may be flavor, they may be bagged up in packaging. They have to be tested. And people may want to market their particular brand. If they can buy it wholesale, bag it, flavor it, whatever they may happen to do for the benefit of that customer at the end, they can stock their program, maybe keep it under controlled conditions and be ready to deliver it upon demand to the dispensary level. They may sell it back to a processor. So all this amendment does, all these words say is those three functions may be licensed. It doesn't prevent a cultivator from doing any of these things. The only thing a cultivator can't do is sell to a customer. And back on the other end, at the distribution level, at the dispensary level, the only thing they can't do is grow more than 50 plants under the amendment. They process it, they can do whatever they want to, but they can't grow more than 50. So it just adds another layer of licensing for that supply chain. I hope I've convinced what's kind of a complicated thing down into understandable.
All right, Representative Branson, recognize you.
Yes, sir.
Representative, as you said that, it is a perishable product and you have to market it, move it on, but I'm kind of confused because this is a medical marijuana, right?
Yes, sir.
And shouldn't sales increase when you're sick and not decrease?
You would think, yes. But we don't know how many
What
people.
different types of flavors are there?
I can speak a little bit about what some of the other places are. There are over 400 varieties of cannabis. Some of them are high in THC and low in cannabinoid. You ever say that word? Cannabidiol. Hope I got it right.
I think that's right. Yes.
That's one of those. On the flip side of it, there are varieties that are very high in CBD and low in THC. Different people with different conditions, especially, for instance, epilepsy, child epilepsy, you probably want very low THC. If you've got PTSD, real bad, matter of fact, the VA is prescribing this stuff now in the federal system in some states. You may want high THC. So those are two options, but we could go on all day about it.
Follow up?